Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another wonderful and amazing Ask an Engineer. As always, it's me, Lady Ada, the engineer. Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed?
Everything's the same. I'm still engineer and founder.
Yeah, that's true,
and with me is, thank you for the little lip, with me is Mr. Lady Ada on camera control, also sometimes just puppeteering. Got an exciting show for you. We're broadcasting live from the Adafruit headquarters. As you can tell, we've got all this factory stuff going on behind us. We're in downtown Manhattan. There's going to be some honking outside because we're near the tunnel, but that's okay. What's on tonight's show?
On tonight's show, we're going to go over the show and tell.
Okay.
Celebrating 4 years of being on the show and tell. Pack the Mailbag's going to stop by. Adafruit Jobs Board. Time travel. Wearables. 3D printing. Raspberry Pi news. New products. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to have a trivia question. All that and more on You Got It. Ask an Engineer.
I'm digging the new graphics. They're great.
Yeah, we got some new graphics. The other thing I need to do is let everybody know what the code is tonight. Do you know what the code is tonight? Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
No, I don't. I need you to drag that thing over.
Do you know what the code is?
Now I do. It says Neo Particle.
Yeah. So the code tonight is NeoPixel Particle. So that's the code. That's 10% off all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, except for software and gift certificates.
That's a long code.
Yeah, so that's the code for this evening. All right, a couple other little bits of logistics and paying some bills. If you order $200 or more, you get for UPS Ground. If you order $50 or more, you get a
$100.
Sorry, $99 or more, you get a free Adafruit Perma Proto half-size board. So that's the specials that we get going on now. If you happen to be in New York City, we're still doing same day. It's working out. Handed off a same day delivery today. It was very nice to the service.
Yeah.
And it showed up and everybody got their package on time. That's it for lots of parts.
If you can't even wait a day.
Yeah, lots of parts of Manhattan. Okay. So, okay. And then that's pretty much it. We're still taking Bitcoin. I didn't put the banner up. There might be a Bitcoin fork, so like who knows? There's a lot of weird and interesting things going on in Bitcoin. Lady Ada, the show and tell.
Yeah.
We do this every single week. We've been doing this for 4 years. We'll be making some noise next week. The show and tell is 4 years old. That means we've been doing this for 4 years every week, just about.
It feels like it.
52 weeks a year times 4. We have at least 200 show and tells. It's thousands of people. Yeah. So around the world, people showing and sharing their projects, hacker spaces, retro stuff.
We had some retro tech
house
today.
Cats, lizards, parrots. We've seen just about everything on the show and tell. Tonight was a full house. What was on the show and tell?
It was double. It was extra full because usually we only have 9 people because that's a number we can max out with Hangouts. But and one person left and another person showed up. Yeah. So we actually had 10. We got through them. Thank you everybody for being compact, 2 to 3 minutes each, so we can get through 10 people in 30 minutes. Start off with Tony DiCola from Adafruit Northwest. He has a project where he's playing around with the Bluefruit Micros, their new Bluetooth Low Energy board with Mega 32E4, which we released last week. And he is getting it to work with a Raspberry Pi, so you can basically have this little board with Bluetooth Low Energy. It's a wireless board, and it talks to a Raspberry Pi, which then uploads data to Wi-Fi. So he showed the Bluefruit Micro with a DHT22 sensor, it's a humidity and temperature sensor. He's going to write it up, so it'll be on the learning guide soon. And then it sends that data to a Raspberry Pi over Bluetooth Low Energy, and then the Raspberry Pi uploads it to Adafruit.io, which is happening. People are using it. It's great. Another pager from Adafruit Southeast. I had a couple projects. They are going to release the video for the Talking D20, so that's very exciting. That's next week's release, but tomorrow's exciting new project. And then they're also experimenting. They love the design, so they're doing a dual extrusion version on the Flash Forge, which does dual extrusion. So they showed very beautiful. It's like this inlaid, glossy red effect. And then they made a huge one that's this big on an Ultimaker, which we now stock.
Yeah, it was like a full spool.
It was yeah. They said it was like a kilogram of what was it? Half a kilogram of material. It was very hollow. I mean, it's meshed in the middle. but it's really big. It's a 30-hour print, and they said it just happened. They actually, the one failed print they had was because they ran out of material, not because the 3D printer crashed. It's pretty amazing, because I remember, like, we used to be like, if you even looked away or breathed on it wrong, a 3D printer would just like fall apart.
And it still kind of happens sometimes.
It does happen,
but not the really good ones that we have in stock now. Way better.
Sorry, next up. Ryan came by with a bunch of projects. He had a Popular Science, who were in it, so he showed that off. He has an EV blog shirt.
He's going to high school now, and he gets to use the simulator for the circuits.
Simulations for circuits. He's going to do electronics. It's exciting. Like when I went to high school, we just had modems. Like that was the hot new thing. It's like, you have a modem, you can call it PBS. Now you can like make your own iPads.
Yeah, my high school had mostly pain and loneliness and despair.
Oh yeah, no, this was like not. It was not popular. I mean, we had like Lego logo. So yeah, way better these days. So sweet deal. And also he asked some questions about whether to use an STM32 for an Arduino compatible. Chaz came by and we played Maker Charades. He has an underlit Xbox controller, which actually looks really cool. Like he had a translucent bottom and then like running lights. So he has like ground effects when he games. So that's cool. He looks hardcore and playing like Mario Kart or whatever. If you've done Mario Kart on Xbox, right? Mario Kart.
I know exactly what it is. You play more video games than me.
No, I don't. I don't remember. I don't know what games
someone did a Fury Road version of Mario Kart.
With the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because they're making video games.
Yeah, that's cool.
I want to play that game.
Yeah.
Go-karts. And back on track, Richard A., who showed off a bunch of projects, came by, showed off his makerspace, had some visitors from the makerspace, showed off like this geodesic dome couch thing, some LARP weapons, some art. Looks like a super cool hackerspace. Chris Elliott had a Metro, and he did something very smart. He put in stacking headers on the Metro so you could stack a shield underneath. So we put a battery shield underneath the Metro rather than on top, which is kind of brilliant. Like, because people usually stack on top, but this was like stack under. And it was really cool. They showed that demo. Jay Dusher had his Raspberry Pi field unit, which was a project that we blogged about on Friday, I think.
Yep.
It was a weatherproof Raspberry Pi with like dials and like weatherproof like panel mount jacks and a 10-inch display, and it looks cool. He's using it to also transmit data online, like weather data from his Raspberry Pi to like Adafruit IO. But just this is just a really, really durable Raspberry Pi field computer. Rich Collins came in, and he went to a party that was hat themed, and so he had to build our NeoPixel scrolling display hat, and he did. And he said it was epic, and then they said they got really drunk and started putting swears on it. And that's wonderful. I'm glad that everybody really enjoyed and appreciated his top hat. Scotty came in. He had some old technology to show off, an old flyback tester for TV repair. They had flybacks, which they don't anymore, thank God. And then he had an RLC tester, a really old one, looked really durable. He had aluminum and steel. And then he made a really sweet EL wire hat for I think it was it Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, because there was a cheese thing, so he has the EL and everything. It was really beautiful. It's a good hat.
I think he said it was from Wisconsin. I don't want to get this wrong because I'm going to hate mail. But it looked like a Green Bay Packers hat, and had EL, and he cut out EL, and he also had EL wire on it. Looked great. And then finally, C. Scott came by with a CS80 filter and a Chrominia synth, and just like played some cool synthy tones.
All participants on the show and tell get an As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker. We've been doing this for 4 years in a row. We're going to continue to do it. Lady Ada, how do people get on the show and tell?
If you would like to join us for the next 4 years and beyond, you can do that by going to Google Plus page at plus.google.com/+Adafruit to look for the thread where we have Adabot saying, comment here to get added to the show and tell circle. Comment there, please do it not 3 minutes before the show and tell. We will add you to the show and tell circle, and then you'll get an invite every single Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's New York time. Get invited. Be sure to be there because it fills up fast. Accept the invite. Mute your mic. Show up. Show off your project 2 or 3 minutes. You can do maker projects, crafting, costuming, cosplay, old technologies, Radio Shack memorabilia, like video game stuff. Pretty much anything cool and techie. It doesn't even have to use Adafruit parts. You don't. No judgy. All good. And we love y'all.
Okay, if you're on the show and tell, email support@adafruit.com and you'll get an As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker. A quick programming reminder, every Wednesday night, 8 p.m., Ask an Engineer, you're watching now, Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m., Show and Tell. Like I said, 4 years of Show and Tell. That means we're up to 6 years with Ask an Engineer.
No!
Yeah, 6 years.
Oh man, we're like first graders.
Yeah,
Ask an Engineer.
we're taking the bus by ourselves to engineer school.
Yeah, pack
Another little
Do you
programming,
like Lunchables of like Ask an Engineer?
little resistor packs and stuff
Okay.
like that. Actually, remember you did your little bento box? The little,
Oh yeah, that was cute.
Um,
I can't believe they discontinued the OtterBox.
Another programming note, we're trying out Periscope, so you'll get another view of kind of a behind-the-scenes view. Maybe I'll mount it or something like that. But Periscope's going on today
Okay,
as well.
I gotta make sure I don't swear.
Yeah, well, that's a behind-the-scenes one.
Okay.
So whatever.
What's the little hearts all about?
The hearts are, I think, when people like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Thanks.
okay, we're gonna keep going. Mailbag. Packet the Mailbag stops by every single week. These are letters you send to us that we read to our all-company meeting every week called State of the Fruit. We also read them here on Show and
Will we
Tell.
ever broadcast State of the Fruit?
Yes.
One day.
Yeah. The thing is, so just a little side note as before we go into the mailbag. So every week we do something called State of the Fruit. It's an all-company meeting, and we do this every single week, and we go over everything. It is the State of the Fruit. We're completely transparent and open source with our internal numbers and data and goals. And so what I think we'll do is we'll have a chunk of it that's broadcast live at some point. I just have to make it easy because I'm already doing like 4 shows. This would be another one. But on a long enough timeline, the goal is to have almost everything broadcast here at Adafruit, from the pick and place machines to our weekly State of the Fruit meetings. Also have to make sure the team's okay with it. Like each director and each team lead and each team member does something at State of the Fruit. Not everyone's comfortable in front of the camera.
That's true.
So we'll have to make sure some people are, or maybe we'll have a special segment. But yeah, anyways, that is a little bit about how we run Adafruit.
Okay, back to the
Yeah,
show.
this is
As
from
scheduled.
Mark. My package is complete and beautiful and wonderful and amazing. I will never forget what you just did. I am going to tell everyone who will listen how amazing Adafruit is. I'm going to post all over. You have 1,000,000,000% of my business forever. This was the single most incredible customer experience of my entire life, hands down. Seriously, this is wild. Customer service just wild. I don't even know where to begin.
Did you ask customer service what they did for this guy? Because like
I'm pretty sure we just got his package on time. The bar is really low out there, so I think we just did our job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice work, customer service, and thank you, Mark.
Yeah. Okay. Adafruit's job board. This is the best and only place online that I know of where makers can post their job for the company that they work for to look for cool makers, and also skills if they want to get a job. This week, this is kind of cool. This is a treadmill interface with controller and Arduino Spark Core. This is active up, and they're looking for a new kind of walking desk. That's what they're developing, and they want to use Spark Core and the Adafruit HX8357 specifically. So they're looking for people who've bought this, who use it, who are engineers, to work for them. So check it out. It's at adafruit.com/jobs.
That's cool. Yeah, a little touchscreen control. What's funny is, like we see products all the time. Like we went to that cooking store, and they had all these espresso machines, and I was looking at the espresso machines LCDs because I was like, oh, this one's an OLED, and this one, it looks like an OLED, but it's not. It's a TFT,
Yeah.
and this one uses a color, and like what's the resolution, the size, like this is how I kind of like see what's available on the market as I look at products, because I'm like,
Yeah.
if we made it into a product, we can get it. So I kind of check that out.
Okay. I forgot if we did this on the show, but if I did, I'm still going to do it because it's gotten zero traction. So there's this announcement that the U.S. Treasury is going to finally have a woman on the currency that we have in the U.S. Over half the population is women. It'd be nice to have a
little
form.
bit over half.
I said over half the
Yeah, a
population.
little bit over half.
Yeah, a little bit over half. Just a little bit. Okay. And so I thought it'd be neat from like Adafruit's point of view. Like there's all sorts of women that should be considered, but we're technologists and we like computer science and we like all sorts of things. And we like all sorts of things, but it's very specific in the tech world. So we have 2 ideas. The first one is Amazing Grace. This would be Admiral Grace Hopper, who's known for coining the phrase bug in computer software. Look her up if you don't know about her. We thought this would be great for either the 20 or the 50. And then also Sally Ride, first American astronaut in space. And those are the 2 that we think would be interesting. One, computer science. Engineering. Two, we have to get off this planet and colonize the rest of the universe if we're going to make it. And so space is the first step. And we're going to probably have to have at least half the population participating. Sally Ride, first American woman astronaut. Those are the ones we have. Now, I have no idea how to get this information or these ideas to the people who decide.
Like the man, yeah.
Maybe you folks do. We try to tweet to the president. President's a little busy right now.
He's getting ready to.
Yeah, so I think, anyways, that's our idea. We'll try our best, but maybe you folks out there can too. Okay, next up, some open source hardware news. There's a lot. So we're an open source hardware company, and one of the things we like to do is go to the bookstore. Go to the bookstore, we look what's going on. So this is where we stopped and we saw 2600. I used to write for them and do some 2600 stuff. Make, I used to write for them and do some stuff with Make, and then a bunch of Raspberry Pi stuff. That's in the computer section.
Yeah, there's a lot of Raspberry Pi magazines and books.
Yeah, we also like to look at some new magazines. So Cosplay is now turning into a magazine, and there's also a Comic-Con specific magazine. There's that TV Guide thing I was talking about. See, that's why they have so much circulation. They do stuff like this, yeah.
TV, no, smart.
And then we like to look in the business section. And the business section is interesting. We like to see positive change. So Inc. magazine, this says Damon. On the cover, you see Neil deGrasse Tyson, Stuart Butterfield on Forbes, who did, he's doing Slack, and before it was Flickr, and then Fortune has robots. So we always like to see like diversity on the magazine covers, and we're starting to see that happen little by little. You were on Wired a long time ago, and that was, I think, a really positive.
That was like
that you're the first engineer on the cover of Wired.
Female.
Yeah.
I don't think I was the first engineer.
Yeah, and then Megan Smith was the second female engineer on the cover. Now she's the CTO of America. And then this month, on stands now, is Popular Science. And I used to write for Popular Science too, so this is even more amazing. So this is Neil deGrasse Tyson, and it's a whole series called How to Be an Expert in Anything. And it came out on iPad right now, and I believe Android for the iPad, and Android apps for magazines. Dean Kamen, who we love to quote, "We are what we celebrate," has a big section in there. And of course, you, Lady Ada, this is why we're talking about this. So this is the first time that I know of where an open source hardware company like Adafruit has had a feature like this. They used the photo from the Glamour photo shoot, which was pretty cool. And then this is your section, Why DIY Matters. So it's a big article, and they have a huge circulation. This is like 1 million plus magazines that go out. So this is cool, like talking about open source hardware, talking about why you do it, talking about why it's important. That's really cool. All right, yeah. Next up in open source hardware news, Adafruit is officially a Maker Faire media sponsor.
Yay!
Woo. So what that means is we are going to be covering Maker Faire. We don't do a booth or anything anymore. We used to be there a lot. I used to help run Maker Faire, so we're kind of retired from that. But we're going to be there covering the event. We're going to be posting about it leading up all the way to it, just to give you folks an idea of how big Maker Faire got. So the official Maker Faires that you see out there have at least 275,000. The featured fairs like Detroit, Kansas, Milwaukee, and all that, when you add it all up, it's 291,000. When you put it all together, you're talking about 781,000. Just the big old Maker Faires alone, 215,000 people altogether. It is huge, and this is from 2006. I was there, you were there. There was only 22,000. That was way more than we expected. 2014, you're looking at almost 1 million people a year, altogether worldwide. So it is an event.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Some Arduino news. One, our friend Massimo is in town. He stopped by today. We're going to probably have him on the show while he's in the States.
Oh, yeah, we'll count him into that.
Yeah. And the other thing is we're still shipping tons of Arduino. We can't say how many, but I can tell you it's a lot. It's a lot.
A lot to
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Adafruit Learning System, over 835 tutorials.
Oh, man, I'm trying to get to 1,000.
We're going to
so
get there.
far.
We're going to get there. This week in Adafruit Learning System, a few good tutorials. This is battery powering wearable electronics with Becky Stern. This is a very useful one because you probably always keep asking, how do I power my wearable projects with batteries? This is how. Becky has a guide. Becky has a video. You must watch it. And definitely watch it before you send in questions because we'll probably send you a link to the guide.
Half the questions are always like, how should I power my project?
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
It's also good for non-wearable projects, of course.
Yep. Okay,
Really
next
important.
up. This is the Bluefruit LE Python library.
Yeah, this is that Tony DeCola project. He's using a Raspberry Pi with a CSR Bluetooth module, and he's using that Bluetooth Low Energy module to talk to the BLE Micro, which is the board we came out with last week. We talked about that. But you can also talk to any of our BLE or other, of course, BLE products. It just works with all of our BLE stuff because it's the right UID and stuff. And so you can basically make a wireless link between this, Bluetooth low energy device and your Pi. What's cool about Bluetooth low energy is that the Pi doesn't have BLE built in, but like Macs do, and Windows 10 does. This library does not support Windows 10 yet. It does support Mac OS X and of course Raspberry Pi and Linux, but because Windows 7 is what we kind of use, Windows 7 doesn't have BLE support, and then Windows 8 does, but we didn't really upgrade to 8. We're going to get it working on Windows 10 one way or another, and then you'll be able to use Windows 10. And a lot of laptops have BLE built in, so it's like the way I see this is kind of a replacement for like a lot of XB projects, where it's like, well, you just want to have something from a computer to a device, and usually you have to buy like one XB for
Lower
computer.
cost and easier.
Yeah, and then you also use it with like a tablet, so it's kind of a more universal wireless protocol. It goes about like 100 feet, so it kind of a replacement for short wireless links.
Okay, next up we have to run a X-Carve CNC machine. It's more like a 3D printer, but we put CNC. Wirelessly with a wire.
It's a carver.
Yeah, with a Raspberry Pi.
So this is the X-Carve is a product from Inventables. It's a carver that can carve out of materials like wood, and I think even some metals and plastics for sure. And it's kind of like it's a CNC, but CNC is so generic. So it's a carving machine, and it can cut like PCBs, for example. You can cut like traces off of PCBs, and it can like cut large pieces of wood. But but one of the things about this is that to keep it low cost, you have to have it tethered to a computer. The computer is constantly sending it the commands. It doesn't have the computer built in. And so normally you'd have your computer tied up, but if you're doing a big project, like you may not want to have your only computer like literally connected to this thing and unable to move around, especially if you want to like go to work or like go to a cafe or just like watch a movie and not have it, because if it crashes, your computer crashes, of course, it crashes the X-Carve. Yeah. So what Todd did with this project is he got an X-Carve and he basically set up a Raspberry Pi to act as a proxy. And so the Raspberry Pi is the thing that's actually setting the commands, and your computer can be elsewhere, anywhere on Wi-Fi. It doesn't have to be tethered directly to it. And so you can like wirelessly control it from like anywhere you want, and it just makes it a lot easier for you to run large projects.
That's cool. Okay. Every single week we post up the Adafruit comic book reading list. Turns out everybody at Adafruit seems to read comic books. And after people were sharing some of their recommendations, I said, oh, I could turn that into content for the web. And so
look at you making content.
Yeah, so this week, this is from Zay. He's in shipping. He's the group director. This is Cairo by Willow Wilson. And this is her own response to Lepore's article. It was this comic that was G. Willow Wilson's depiction of women. It was Jill Lepore's depiction in comics, and so there's this comic that goes with it. So read the whole thing. It's a very interesting story in addition to the comic itself.
Okay, so that's cool. So there was some critique.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, like, let's not make women basically like victims and get stuffed in fridges all the time. Yeah. And not have any personalities. And so this person responded and said, okay, fine, I will make a comic. And I like when people are industrious. Instead of saying like crummy comments on the web, like I don't like your thing, someone's like, I'm gonna make a new comic. I am going to get a comic, and I'm going to show you how I want to do it. And so I guess I thought that was cool. They made something better. It's great. All right, time travel. We're gonna make a trip back in time. Okay, this week. This is cool. I actually know who this was. This is Clara Dan von Neumann, Hungarian computer scientist. Yeah. Pioneer in computer programming. She wrote the code used on the MANIAC machine developed by Jonathan Neumann and Julian Bigelow at the Los Alamos Scientific Laboratory. She was also involved in new controls for, what is it, ENIAC? ENIAC.
ENIAC.
Yeah.
And one of the primary programmers, she taught early weather scientists how to program.
I wonder if was she related to von Neumann?
I don't know. I need to look this up.
Neumann is famous, but
Yeah.
I've never heard of Claridan.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Maybe it was really her all along.
I really hope so.
Yeah. Okay. Wearables this week in the world of wearables. One, we're celebrating 2 years of Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern. Today, Colin was on the show.
So 6 years, 2 years, and 4 years.
Yeah. Wow. It's been determined that I seem to come up with show ideas
every 2 years.
No, like right after like the holidays, and then it's gearing up, and then we launch in August.
We launched a lot of stuff in August.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, like things are chill.
Yeah.
August, yeah.
Okay. August is back to school month, and with that being said, we have a wearables video with Becky for back to school.
It's back to school time, and I've got 5 projects to electrify your school year. Let's check them out. Hold on to new summer friends by trading LED friendship bracelets made with paracord, conductive thread, and Adafruit LED sequins. The clasp is also the switch for easily powering on and off. If LEDs are too flashy for the classroom, solder up a buzzing Gemma mindfulness bracelet that can remind you to switch study topics or pay attention in class. For toting your files in style, try a USB locket made with a golden micro flash drive. Show off your school pride or express your personal style by modeling some custom 3D graphics, then print them out and sew them onto a cap or book bag. We've got all the 3D printers and filament you need to get set up. Ace your school's next talent show with your own laugh track jacket using the Adafruit Audio FX board and battery-powered speakers.
Yeah, that one's a crowd pleaser.
If you're just starting out in wearables, study up with our Getting Started with Adafruit Flora and the Flora book pack, filled with everything you need to make your fashion tech projects at home. What are you making for back to school this year? Let us know in the comments or on our weekly show and tell hangout on Google+. Thanks so much for watching, and subscribe for more wearable electronics from Adafruit.
Alrighty, and we're back.
Thank you for that schooling,
The
Becky.
folks on Periscope get to see the behind the scenes of us watching the video. Okay.
So meta.
Yeah. So, quick note, programming note is Wearable Electronics is on every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and make sure you watch it. One other quick thing, we have a really cool case study that Becky did, and it was the Oracle workshop, and it was the Oracle Education Foundation, and it was for girls only to learn computer programming and electronics and more. So check out this case study. We actually have a full case study dedicated to it. Go to the blog and check it out. 3D printing this week. We're like zip, 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 zip. We have one big bit of news. The first is
1 year.
3D Hangouts is celebrating a year. That's another show, another
6 year, 4 year, 2 year, and 1 year. So,
Yeah.
So actually, you were supposed to come up with another video show this year?
Yeah, I want to do another video show, but I don't want to talk about it right now.
No pressure.
Maybe I'll Periscope. I have another video show in mind. Maybe we'll just broadcast on multiple different things.
You want to just do that? You want to have like every option? I don't know. You want to meerkat it? What's the difference between
No, I
meerkat-
can't meerkat and Periscope at the same time.
Well, you get another phone.
I could get another phone, but that's weird.
You can drop cam.
I can drop cam
But
for.
then only MOSFET can watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, our 3D video this week is already one of my instant favorites. This is the talking D20.
Behold, 19. Impressive.
In this project, we're building a talking D20. A 20-sided die is used for tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons. The outer shell is entirely 3D printed, and if we take a look inside, you'll see all of the electronics. To put this project together, we'll need to equip with a handful of breakout boards and components from Adafruit. So how does it work? Well, let's take a look. This project uses the Arduino platform, and like all Arduino sketches, it has a setup and a loop function. These in turn call functions from the Arduino libraries to make things happen. The code casts the sleep spell, putting the circuit in a low power state, and when movement is detected, the accelerometer gets a wake-up call. So here's where phase gravity vectors come to play. After coming to rest, the sensor measures its orientation. The sketch has a table of X, Y, and Z vectors for each of the 20 faces, so it knows which face is up. It then pings the audio effects board to play an audio file of the number it's landed on. And to make things a bit more interesting, it throws in a little audio commentary.
You roll a 2. Good day, sir.
We can start this project by uploading the code to the microcontroller. The sketch needs libraries for the audio effects board and the accelerometer, but we can easily install those using the library manager in the latest Arduino IDE. To forge the D20 enclosure, you'll need access to a 3D printer, but we can 3D print the parts in just 2 halves with no support material. And if you're not a bot operator yet, you can of course check with your local library or makerspace. And if you're looking to invest into a 3D printer, we do have a nice assortment of bots in the Adafruit shop. It'll take just under 2 hours to print each piece, and you can of course download and remix the parts. Now to assemble the electronics, you'll need to avoid cold solder joints in large blobs. If wiring is a challenge and you're just starting out, you can learn some really good soldering tactics from Colin's lab. All of the steps and instructions to build this project are in Phil B's fully documented tutorial. Phil B is of course the programmer and creator of this project, and you can follow his guide on the Adafruit learning system while you build this project. I know I did. So be the alpha geek of your gaming group and 3D print yourself a jumbo D20 and trick it out with electronics, because that's how we makers roll. If you want to learn more about combining 3D printing and DIY electronics, you can watch our 3D Hangout. It's on every Thursday. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this project, be sure to let us know down in the comments and subscribe for more projects from Adafruit.
It's a 1. Good day, sir.
Okay, now we're back. All right, so that's our 3D printing video for the week. Don't forget, Noah and Pedro, 3D Hangouts tomorrow at 3 p.m. 333, get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
3. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I can remember that, right? Thursday. 3
Yeah.
p.m.
Okay, you want
let's
to roll this
go.
dice?
Okay, so here's the die.
You roll a 6.
Yeah, see, it works.
Behold, 16.
All right. It's pretty loud. I think people hear that.
Yeah, it's really loud.
And it's cool, yeah, because it detects. It uses accelerometer to detect when it hits something, that strike, and then it uses the gravity vector to figure out what's facing up. So you can't cheat. Like you can't put it down. It won't work. You have to actually roll it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so moving right along, we have some Raspberry Pi news. Do you know this week? I got 2 things. One came in at the last second. So this is breaking news.
Okay.
This is probably the biggest news that you'll hear, maybe ever,
Is it a
about the Raspberry Pi.
sandwich? What is going on? What is it?
It's a Raspberry Pi case that looks like pie.
Oh man.
So,
Is it 3D printed?
I saw it on, no, I don't even know anything about this. I saw it on Twitter and I quickly threw it into the show.
Great. Well, it's
So-
an old style Raspberry Pi too.
So I think this is what everyone wants.
Yes.
So
yes, finally.
it's a Raspberry Pi.
Gooey Fruit Center.
Yeah, it's a Raspberry Pi. Okay. So anyways.
Well, that's important news.
All right. So next up, in the latest Linux user, there is a.
Okay, this cover is a little insane.
Why is it insane?
Look at there's way too much going on here.
There's a penguin, and
And there's like 6,000. The entire magazine's on the front cover.
yeah, it's free Linux and Pi video tutorials. Win Raspberry Pi and upgrades. It's amazing how Linux user has turned into a Raspberry Pi magazine.
Yeah.
Anyways, the amazing news is Adafruit's Tony DeCola did the Minecraft NFC, and he has a full 2-page article. Check out Tony. Tony. Yeah, he's here. So there's a full article in it. Go and just get this, so they'll want more Adafruit articles in Linux user.
Yeah, it's basically our guide. I mean, like, he cleaned up a little bit and made
Yeah.
it shorter, but yeah, like, we have a lot of our tutorials show up in magazines. We had the Picade show up in a magazine.
Yeah.
Fun by us.
So
Like, hey, we already have a photo of the
congrats,
planet.
Tony, on the big ink. Big ink. All right. Okay, Lady Ada, before we go to new products,
Yeah.
I need to tell everybody something. The code is NeoPixel Particle.
Okay.
NeoPixel Particle gets you 10% off in the Adafruit store all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, except for software and gift certificates. And with that, that means only one thing, and one thing only. It's new product time.
New.
Yeah. Okay. So new products this week. I will kick it off.
Okay.
This is a
Bundle.
Pi bundle. And so what it is interesting. We will send you a Pi and a card that has the code for EagleCAD. So
Yeah.
you get this as a bundle. It's a bundle.
And it's the same price that you normally would pay for the EagleCAD license. It looks like this, and my fingers are covering up where the license key is. So you get this like magic number on your card, and you type it in when you receive the card physically. And then we don't have to email you a thing. You have this card. Of course, you can write it down. Send yourself an email if you want. But basically, for the same price of like getting EagleCAD hobbyist license, you get a free Raspberry Pi 2. Now, I just want to clarify some things. It's super clear. EagleCAD does not actually run on ARM Linux. It will not run on the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is a fun thing you can design electronics for, and we do have an object in our Eagle library, I believe, for the Raspberry Pi. Other people do.
Yeah, I can see
However,
the confusion.
You cannot run EagleCAD on the Pi or the BeagleBone Black.
Not yet. Oh, speaking of BeagleBone Black, we also have, you guessed it, the same bundle. However, it's with a BeagleBone.
It's a little bit more expensive.
Because the BeagleBone's a little bit more expensive.
BeagleBone,
Yeah. So this is for people who just want all-in-one and they don't want to do the online activation. You get it on a card. This is an excellent gift to give someone, right?
Yes, engineer gifts.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, this is neat and weird.
This is totally neat and weird.
Okay.
I agree.
So this
Okay.
is USB Ethernet.
So this is not actually Ethernet.
Yeah.
I gotta explain this.
I
This
know.
is a little weird. So this is a long distance USB transceiver set. This lets you have power and data over 150, we actually did 200 feet away, and it uses Ethernet cable, but it does not actually have Ethernet involved. It does not create a network. You do not send packets. It just uses the Ethernet cable because it's a very convenient
Question.
differential cable.
So like sort of like drop cams or webcams, they use USB.
Yes.
So you could make a camera, USB camera, go really far.
You can make anything go really far.
Over
because
USB.
This does USB 1.0 and 2.0 over very long distances using Ethernet. But again, it's not Ethernet cables. It's just Ethernet cable, not Ethernet. But we showed here because you can actually, for example, program an Arduino. And we did. We programmed Arduino like using this 100-foot cable. We also have a 200-foot cable. We
Yeah.
took two of these and we extended it. And it works. It powers it too.
Why does this work?
So the way it works is probably look. So I actually don't know the technical details of how this works because there's no chipset. It's like a blob, so I couldn't quite get like details. But so the way USB usually works. So Ethernet is Ethernet. The protocol is faster than USB. You can transfer way more data. It's very very fast, actually like 100 megabits. So the cables are able to transfer that kind of data, but what they do is they have signaling that has much higher voltage differential. So I'm assuming one thing they do is they boost the voltage differential. So instead of doing plus minus 3 volts, 0 to 3 volts and then having differential, they might boost it up to like 12 volts or something with a little transformer inside. They might also use like a current mode, or they basically like use like the cable as a way of, they take the signal from the USB, but they just make it like bigger,
So
and
they
it
can go farther.
And I think for the power, I don't believe there is a buck boost on either side, although there might. I think it's possible that they boost it up and buck it down to 5 volts. What's more likely is that they use 2 wires of the 8-wire Ethernet cable for data, and they just have like a large voltage differential, and they have 3 wires each for ground and data, so that the impedance of the ground and data wires is really really low.
It's
So,
super clever.
So you can have
Yeah.
the power go much much further. So we tried it. It works. We tried it with an Uno and a Metro. We don't guarantee it works with everything. It definitely doesn't work with USB 3.0. It will not work with like video stuff because that's usually high speed. It uses only low and full speed, USB 1.0 and 2.0. So basically, they were Arduino programming, microcontroller programming, like basic stuff. It works great, taking photos. Like a drop cam might work, but only if it's like, not sending full stream video. It's only taking photos and sending it. I haven't tried it with the drop cam. However, this set works really, really well. So do try it out. We had no problem with it. It kind of solves a problem of like, I want an Arduino 100 feet away. You don't want to get an XB or like an RFM module involved. You just want something that's far away from where it's being programmed. You can just run Ethernet. You usually get those like thin Ethernet cables. Works great too.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
Very handy.
Interesting. Clever. This is neat too. We just put this in the store. So for everyone who has an iPhone and wants to do the wireless charging thing,
Yeah, this is just a
you
little
can
add-on.
do this. Yeah, it's really neat.
It's an official key charger chipset. Uses the TI.
Gold is best.
It has a
Gold is
plate.
best.
It has a gold plate.
Yeah.
It uses the TI chipset. You just plug it in the underneath of your Lightning device. You shouldn't use it with the iPads because it doesn't charge very fast. I mean, it probably would work, but iPhones work best. You just plug it in, and then it wraps around the back, and then you can use it with a key charger, which is a standard charging system.
Okay, so this is what it looks like in action, and this is your charger. This is
Yeah, we also have the little key chargers as like a breakout module you can use so you can make your own wireless charging stuff.
okay. Next up,
Pretty straightforward.
Arduino 3.
The Netduino 3, we had the Wi-Fi one, now we have the Ethernet and the plane. This is the plane, the Ethernet's next. The Netduino 3, it uses, I think, an upgraded chipset. It has much more flash. I think it has like 4 times as much flash and like 2 or 3 times as much RAM. It's not that much more expensive, but it has like more capabilities. It has like GoBus and like it still maintains compatibility backwards. If you like Netduino, we just have the latest Netduino. The old Netduino will be discontinued. We have a couple for people who are like, oh no, I really need that old one because of some compatibility thing, but pretty much people are moving up to
Okay, and
Netduino
then
3.
here is the Netduino 3 Ethernet.
Yes, the Ethernet. So very nice. Has micro SD. Comes with bumpers. Has a MAC address. I like that they have the really slim Ethernet connector.
That's a nice connector. This
So
is for the
it's
Molex
really-
connector.
Yeah, it's really nice.
black.
It's a little more expensive, but it means that you can stack shields on top of it.
Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, and then next up, I wanted to remind everyone. Nimbus, the cloud entity, is your friend.
It's your friend.
Nimbus, the cloud entity,
Will not eat your children.
will not steal your data. So this is our little open source public domain. Nimbus, the friendly Internet of Things cloud entity, goes along with our Internet of Things Bill of Rights that we thought that was interesting. Read it on our site. So we're getting ready to launch Adafruit.io, so we have the Huzzah packs.
Yes.
And if you want to be part of Adafruit.io, the Huzzah packs will be your gateway for many reasons, but this will help you get started. And so what is included here, Lady Ada?
Okay, we have 2 packs, and I will explain what is in each pack. Oh, actually, can you not hide me?
Get rid of you?
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
all right.
Because I don't remember all the
Bye.
things. Bye. So each pack, we basically sort of chatted with everybody who's working with Adafruit.io, Todd and Justin and Tyler and me and Becky and you, and we basically said, like, what are the things that are most likely people are going to try to do with Adafruit.io for this like bidirectional, like you send and receive data. And so we basically got together like a low cost, as like affordable set of the most interesting and most popular sensors and outputs. So we have an RGB LED on the left. Above that is a CDS photocell. We have a trim potentiometer. We have a piezo buzzer. It can be used for like tap sensing, but also for beeps. 3 large tactile buttons, a PIR sensor which can detect human motion, a slide switch just on off, 1 big red LED, 1 big green LED, micro servo so you can do some like mechanical motion. An HDC 1008 sensor. This is a humidity and temperature sensor, very nice, precise sensor. A vibration switch, and then a door sensor. This is a read switch sensor that can detect when somebody's opened a door or like a drawer or something. And we have 2 packs. 1 pack comes with a CC3000. You can bring me back.
You want to come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it back. Yeah, so we have one version that has a CC3000. What's the next slide?
You want to see the next one now? Okay. All the way over to this one.
No.
You want to go to this one?
This one. CC3000, so this is the Wi-Fi module that works really well with an Arduino. If you already have an Arduino or you're very comfortable with Arduino and you want to stick with that because that's what you know, this works with like the Mega and the Dewey, I think, as well. So you would get this pack. It comes with this Wi-Fi module. It works pretty well for Wi-Fi Arduino. It's as good as it gets, pretty much. And then we also have a pack with the Huzzah ESP8266. Can you go 2 forward?
Okay. Now I'm going to go to this one.
No, yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Same
but it's
pack.
the same pack, but it comes with this.
But this time it comes with the ESP8266 breakout
Yeah.
that we know and love. This is an all-in-one Wi-Fi microcontroller, so it's much less expensive. You do not need an Arduino, and it is still less than the CC3000. However, it's just not really an Arduino. It doesn't have analog digital pins. It has only 1. It's 1 volt. It doesn't have any I/O pins. It's like things are a little bit different and weird if you want to use it. Just be aware. It's like not everything is as supported as easily. So if you are like totally interested in doing this hardcore thing, you go with the hardcore thing. If you want to stick with the Arduino thing, stick with the Arduino thing.
Okay. All right. Quick side question: are we going to do anything with the CC3200?
Unlikely.
Probably not. Okay. Next up, we talked about that code, and one of the reasons is the star of the show, besides you tonight, is the NeoPixel particle.
Yeah, we also actually put that. Yeah,
Oh, what?
This thing.
What? I didn't put that in the show.
Yeah.
Did it come in at the last second?
Yeah, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, can you put that in?
Okay, you want to? Okay.
Sorry.
What happened?
We forgot to put in the two products.
There's what products are missing?
This the Bluetooth Wi-Fi adapter and then the USB OLED thing.
Oh, it didn't hit the cutoff.
Sorry.
So these two things. All right.
Yeah. Can you just drag like a photo?
Yeah.
Actually, just one photo's fine.
Yeah. Just hold on.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, it's erased now.
I can do a demo of this. You just have to show one photo.
No, I'll get a photo. It's all good.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so the first one is this, and the second one is this.
Yeah.
So, all right, so here we go.
Okay.
No one noticed anything.
Now, nobody was paying attention. It definitely wasn't broadcast live.
It wasn't broadcast in 3 different mediums.
Okay, so the next item is late but not too late to be forgotten is the Bluetooth plus Wi-Fi adapter. So this is something that was requested for people who are like, oh, I have a Raspberry Pi 8 Plus and it only has one USB port, or you're just using something without a lot of USB ports and you want to add Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. They're like, oh, you know what, that is kind of handy. So there's a Broadcom chipset. It's another thing. It has a different Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chipset than the other devices, so that might be handy too. It has a Ralink chipset instead of a Realtek. It also has a Broadcom Bluetooth chipset, and it has a little USB hub inside of it. So it's really adorable. You plug it in, it's like technically a USB hub, and then it takes these two devices. So it actually has like a hub and then a Bluetooth and then Wi-Fi. But I use it with the Raspberry Pi, it worked really well. I think it probably would work well with BeagleBone Black as well, or any computer. But I think it might be handy for some people, so we picked up a couple of these.
Okay, and then next up.
Next up is this really handy thing. This is kind of an upgrade to the charger doctor, which we had in the store, which was like basically a simple device that would just tell you like USB voltage and USB current. And people, and what's funny is Tony Nicola said like, oh, I saw a review that said that the charger doctor was like really cheap and like inexpensive and easy to use, but that this was the really nice one. I was like, whoa, that's a really nice one. So I was like, I want to carry this for the store. So I picked up a whole bunch of these, and these are so cool. It's an OLED display, USB current and voltage and wattage, and also current hour meter. So it actually tells you how much current over time has been using, because it does an integration for you. So it's really nice. You see watts, voltage, and current, and I can show it on the overhead.
Let's go to the overhead.
Let's go to this overhead. So for example, I'll show it with.
Yeah, that's not the overhead.
That's not the overhead. It's okay.
Yeah, this is the overhead.
Okay, so we have here. Let me block this on. Here we have the demo. We have that gigantic Ethernet cable, so I'm just using this. So you plug this into here, and you get like a welcome, and then you get a current. Oh, can you maybe zoom in?
Yeah.
Do you want me to hold this?
Yeah, can you hold
Okay,
that?
I'll hold this.
Yeah, all right.
But can you zoom in the?
Yeah, I can zoom in.
Zoom. Perfect. Yeah, because it's like very small letters.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Here's your periscopy, or whatever
Yeah.
the hell it is. Okay, so it's basically 5.1 volts and no watts, no current, and it's kind of like there's nothing going on here. And then I can plug in an Arduino, for example. Hold on. So you have an Arduino now, and now the current is 50 milliamps. It shows you it's a quarter watt. This current will go up. I can also, for example, show off maybe this NeoPixel ring. Hold on. Grab this NeoPixel ring. Oh, I hope it didn't break it. I think it's working. Oh. I'll plug that in, and then this is 50 to 100 milliamps, and also quarter watt. Wow, it's about the same as an Arduino. It's kind of a cool coincidence. So you can basically watch devices as you plug them in, and you can see like the voltage and the current, and it's just like more precise. Like you can, you get you get 10 millivolts, 10 milliamps precision, rather than the other one, which is like not as precise. You also see everything at once. And there's a button on the back. You can like flip the display around. It like is upside down, which is not so useful for us, but whatever. And it comes in a nice case, and it's usually really easy to use. It works with USB 1 and 2. It doesn't have the connectors for USB 3, so if you were using it in a USB 3 port, it would just downgrade to USB 2.
Okay. All right. So getting back to the previous thing I was saying about the star of the show. Okay, so besides you, the star of the show this week is the NeoPixel particle. So
This is an old product. This is actually, this is from a couple months ago. So this was when the Photon was first sort of announced, and we're like, oh, we'll do this. And then like the Photons are actually being shipped to us. So we're like, oh yeah, we got to finish that project. So it's a new pixel ring, and it has a spot that you can plug in your particle spark core or particle photon or any compatible pinout basically. And you can make a little wireless LED ring, has some mounting holes, there's a battery slot. We just kind of was like, hey, let's make something that's like low cost, easy to use, and we think would be powerful. Basically, this would be a great way to like make it, gauge or
cool.
have feedback, and you have like 24 pixels to do it with.
So it's a cool thing to do with particle. Like as soon as you get it, like get this ring and like you can start doing stuff. Like, and it can be there can be so many internet connected things. Oh my coffee maker.
The nest or whatever the temperature. So you can transmit a lot of data using, even though it's not like text data.
That's the Internet of Things sound. Oh, you're gonna make the coffee maker talk to the cat feeder. That's what it sounds like.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So you get this ring, and it's in stock. It's beautiful. It's in black. It comes with a mini kit. You have to solder the headers on, or you can solder the Photon in place. I mean, they're like only $20, so you can just solder it in place if you want. And that's pretty much it. We finally have it installed. That's it.
That's new products. All right, that was new products, Lady Ada. That was it. You did a good job.
Yay.
All right. So that was new products. Okay. A reminder. As you may see in the news, we don't have any funding or loans or anything. It's pretty much just you folks out there when you and the cops are coming to get us now. Apparently, this sale must be illegal. It's a crazy sale. No, we have a NeoPixel particle as a code, 10% off in the Adafruit store, all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. Your orders is what pays the bills for her skills. So no pressure, everybody out there.
If I don't do it, then nobody gets paid.
If we can't feed you, well, you don't pay for Candy Crush. You're up to what level on Candy Crush without paying?
I'm like 900 or something.
900?
I'm so close to finishing, and then I can get back to like doing electronics again.
And then we have Hackers on Blu-ray that we're gonna watch. We pre-ordered that.
A bunch of people here at Adafruit were like want to watch it, so maybe we can do like a little movie night here.
Yeah, maybe we'll do movie night. Okay. All right, we did movie night. We watched Ghostbusters together.
We did, but like
another
come
one.
on, like Hackers.
Okay.
Come
Another
on.
one. That maybe be it.
20-year
Okay.
anniversary.
All right. So let's answer some questions.
Okay.
All right, folks.
Let's.
Put your questions in the chat. We'll answer them as fast as we can, and then we'll do a trivia question at the end. All right. So where do folks get the particle?
Right now, the particle is available from. I don't remember Particle's website, but it's not particle.com, but like search for Particle Photon. We don't have them in the store yet, but they're coming very soon. If you can wait a couple days, they'll be in the Adafruit store, and you can get 10% off. Probably by next week.
Okay. Here's a tutorial request. Someone wants a tutorial on how to make awesome, great connector cables for sensors and like Arduinos and such.
Yeah, cables are tough. That's why we actually sell those JST wire connectors in the store. Like we have like JST wires in like 3, 4, 5, I think up to 6 connectors. Making connectors just so annoying.
Okay, someone wrote a sketch for Arduino Ethernet using version 1.05 R2. If I go any higher, such as 1.06 and 1.65, the code does not work. Had to go back to 105 R2. Did not use any third-party libs.
Yeah, I don't know.
The IDE could be all. Yeah. They could have not. Something could not be working from IDE to IDE. Or you might have to.
I don't know the Arduino Ethernet. I actually don't really use it anymore.
Yeah, you might have to post up in the
Arduino.cc
forums to see if they made any changes in between IDEs. Next up, do we need anything special at this time to sign up for access to Adafruit.io? No, we're going through. We're doing like 50 at a time. So if you signed up, great.
We don't want to overload the devs with like 5,000 new users.
But there is one way to get in faster. If you kind of have an amazing project that's already out there that you can show us, that we know we can fast track into an Adafruit.io project, we could probably help you get in a little bit faster, just email support@adafruit.com, show the project, show a photo or something, and be like, this is where adafruit.io would come in. I can program in what would be a good thing. At least like see.
Anything where it's like, hey, I was using another like internet service that no longer exists because they went out of business.
Like Patch Bay or something like that.
Yeah, or like they closed down developer
something.
access. Yeah, the Patch Bay closed
But
developer
email support@adafruit.com, attention Phil, and
be like, hey, I want to make
I will
this
see what I can do.
coffee maker talk to my cat feeder.
Yeah. Okay. Next up. Lady, what are your thoughts about Java? This person took a C++ class last year, and Java is used for computer science, which they're taking this year. You like Java?
Yeah, Java's good. I mean, like it's a little wordy, but you are forced to use conventions with object-oriented programming that C++ doesn't really make you do. So that's kind of good.
Okay.
It's a little bit more strict.
Is there a product where I connect USB barcode to tablet using Bluetooth because I can't get OTG and power at the same time? I don't know if there's a Bluetooth barcode scanner.
Yeah, what you can do if you want to build such a thing is you get, one thing that I know would probably work is you get our Bluefruit Easy Key, which allows you to basically act like a keyboard. And then you would have something like an Arduino. Actually, our Bluefruit Low Energy, the Bluefruit Micro also can do HID. It can act like a keyboard for stuff that supports low energy.
So it'd have to be a keyboard.
Yeah, it'd basically act like a keyboard. So for Android, I would just the Easy Key because a lot of Android devices don't have Bluetooth Low Energy support. It's not as well supported as iOS. And then have a microcontroller read the barcode scanner and then type that out.
Okay. Next up. How do you get the cat? There's a cat question.
I don't know.
Oh, how do you keep your cat from getting in your seat the second you stand up? MOSFET is constantly sitting on top of me, so it's not that big a problem. Next up. I mean, the problem is he's on top of me all the time, and he's a cat. And anyways, have you heard of a Conrad power supply, and will you carry it?
No, I don't know what a Conrad power supply is. No, we don't carry. We carry a power supply from Regal. It's pretty good.
All right. How do you get Scratch 2 running on the Raspberry Pi? I don't
Scratch
know.
2 is not supported
Don't
because
think
it's
there's
Flash.
Yeah, I don't. There's
and
only
Flash isn't supported. They only have Scratch.
they only have Scratch. Yeah, for the first one. As far as Scratch 1. Next one. Next one. Can an ESP8266 collect data from sensors and then upload them, or is an Arduino needed?
The cool thing about the ESP8266 is you do not need an Arduino. It actually can be programmed from the Arduino IDE directly, which is really neat. So if you have a simple project where you have like a sensor, like a temperature sensor, and you want to upload it, you can do that using just the ESP8266, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Someone wants tutorials using Kali Linux on our Raspberry Pi 2.
We do have a tutorial on how to get Kali working with our Pi TFT.
Yeah.
I believe we did a tutorial on doing that, but we don't. I mean, like, it seems like people with Kali know kind of what they want to do. So, like,
Yeah.
I would contact them for Kali for that. But we do have a tutorial on Kali.
Okay. And then someone want to know if there's any interest in extending the Adafruit Kegamatic to talk to the caffeinator and/or kitten feeder. That would be.
We're probably gonna put the Kegamatic on I/O. Like, we gotta do
Yeah,
that next.
and
'cause then we'll tweet through
Yeah.
I/O.
We don't have an automatic cat feeder, so we haven't thought
We'd
about
have
that
to
yet.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feed the cat every day.
And then folks wants to know when the FlashForge Creator Pro will be stocked. How many? I believe they're on order. I don't know the details.
Yeah, it's not done yet.
Yeah, we're move fast, and we'll probably have them. Whatever the retail price is, what we'll probably have them for.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll let us have them on a sale, but sometimes it's hard. Okay, that's questions.
It's
Good work,
9
Lady
o'clock.
Ada.
Do
Yep.
this thing.
Yep, good work.
Good.
Okay, before we give something
Good.
away, don't forget the code is NeoPixel Particle all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. We're going to give something away. Lady, what are the rules when we give stuff away?
The rules are if you've won something from this fabulous show already, you can't win again.
It's
Only
still on?
one. Yeah, I have to turn
Okay,
off,
good.
but I haven't
Okay,
prior
that's
to
fine.
part.
That's fine.
Only one winner per my lifetime. If you've already won something, please sit on your hands and don't type into the chat because
Yeah.
that would
What's the
be-
prize tonight?
Well, I thought it would be this USB extender set. Because that's
USB
that's more
extender set.
I thought the USB extender set
Okay.
because if you don't have a photon, and a lot of people don't, the NeoParticle photon is useful.
Okay.
Is that
So
okay?
yeah. So here's how we're gonna do it. Ready, folks? I'm gonna do the same thing I did last week because that was fun. Guess a number between 1 and 20. So when you guess a number between 1 and 20, I am going to roll the dice after I see some entries in the various forms of chat. And
Are you gonna include the Periscope chat?
I'll include everybody. It's whatever one I see
but
first.
But it does disappear.
Yeah, I know. it's whatever I see. It's just what it's
Okay.
going to be.
Look, we're
All
doing
right.
investigation.
I like how someone always guesses 42. It's a 20-sided dice. Yeah, all right. So someone guessed 21.
That's not valid.
All right, I'm starting to see some numbers come in. So here we go. Ready?
Wait, no, you need one more number now.
I got enough numbers.
You got enough
Trust me on
numbers?
this.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we go. The number tonight is, and the winner will be, the person who guessed.
You roll 20.
Okay.
Show.
The person who guessed 20 first, and someone put $20 bill.
doesn't count.
That doesn't count. I'm so sorry. It looks like,
This one? You want to check here?
yeah, I'm checking. It looks like
Yeah,
it looks
definitely this person.
Yeah, it looks like on YouTube, and it is
Vinal Tatch.
Banal Tatch. Congratulations, Banal Tatch in YouTube. And by the way, this is the same across all. This is the first person in all of them.
Okay.
You won. Okay, Banal
I told
Tatch.
him for 20.
Yeah, 2 in a row. You won?
Yeah, I got 20. All right, so we're everything's coming up roses. We should stop now before we miss a
Okay.
critical hit.
So Banaltech, you won the USB set. Email support@adafruit.com and let them know, and they will send it out to you.
Okay, should I roll again or no?
Yeah. Do you want to try to roll a 20 again?
I'm not gonna roll a 20 again.
Okay.
No.
A 6.
All right, and then I'll roll on here. See how. It's...
Oh man,
We had 2 20s though. That's good.
I totally kicked you. Yeah.
Oh, we're racing.
No, it's
Okay.
the values were higher.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. All right. All right. Well, that's the show tonight, folks. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for supporting the show. Goes NeoPixel Particle all the way up to midnight tonight. Thank you, everyone, on Periscope. We're trying that out. So that's
Do you want to just Periscope as we go home? It's like, hey,
no.
that's
It's
weird.
time to turn this off.
Okay.
And then we'll try Mercat, I guess, on the other side. I don't know. Does anyone use Mercat?
I don't know.
All right.
Periscoping.
Snapchat. Okay. All right. So, anyways, we'll see everybody next week. Don't forget, we have all those shows and these shows and more that we do every single week.
That are old.
Yeah,
That
we
are
have
aged.
a picture of a cat. And here's your moment of Zener.